She likes to travel quite a bit. So, well, we have a jam-packed program for you lined up for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So, what we're gonna do? We're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna start with, of course, the local news. Bring you some local news. Then we're gonna bring you some national news. And tonight, we also want to bring you some sports as well. It's always good when we do that. We go over to Place, New Jersey. Homes needed for Gem of South Orange tour. Homes needed for Gems of South Orange tour. The South Orange Historical and Preservation Society is looking for homes to be part of the 2015 Gems of South Orange House Tour. According to the SOPHS, homes that should be aesthetically pleasing and generally well kept and may have interest if they are historic, were occupied by well-known residents. A good example of an architectural style or restoration or of an interesting collection or garden. The Gems of South Orange House Tour takes place every other year and generally features 6 or 7 homes. In recent years, properties have included mansions in the Newstead neighborhood with skyline views and the historic 1774 Squire House on North Ridgewood Road. The 2015 tour will take place on Saturday, May the 15th between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. The deadline for submission is Saturday, February 25th. Interested homeowners should contact SOPHS by sending an email to info@sophs.org. That's info@sophs.org or call 973-763-2310. That's 973-763-2310. And we go over to the Village Green. Maplewood Police Holiday Toy Drive is a success. The Maplewood Police Department and PBA Local 44 and 44A thank all the supporters who made the 2014 toy drive a success. Chief Roberto Cimino, Detective Lieutenant Jim DeVol, and Detective Carlos Baez give special thanks to Chris Dixon and the Wren Party Organization, Jacob Deary of General Moving Careers of Maplewood, and Retro Fitness of Greenburg, who all provided exceptional support to the drive this year. So there you have it. A wonderful result by the police department with respect to its toy drive. Weekly recycling in Maplewood Hole due to court order. Maplewood will not be moving to weekly recycling pickup on January 5th, as previously reported, due to a court order restraining the award of the recycling contract. The Township Committee held a hearing on December the 16th on an objection made by Gita Recycling to the award of the 2015 Maplewood recycling pickup contract to Bella Cleaning and Carton. However, Township Committee members voted 3-2 to award the contract to Bella. Afterwards, Gita filed an order to show cause seeking to stop the award of the contract to Bella, charging that Bella had not complied with the bid specification and Bella was not the lowest responsible bidder. So, I guess no new recycling contract in Maplewood until further notice. Well, today they picked up recycling, so I guess they are going to continue with the old contractor until they sign the new contract. Who we use spurs Maplewood to consider changes to signage code. Maplewood Township officials are considering changes to the Township Code governing commercial lawn sign, spurred by the proliferation of a certain blue map pin-shaped sign in local yards. In September, Who We Use co-founders John Gabarino and Spencer Ante appeared at a Maplewood Township Committee meeting to protest the fact that friends who had been sporting the sign on their lawns were issued summons by the township. Township Committee members said they will consider changing the code. The issue was referred to the Code Enforcement Committee, which is chaired by Committeewoman India Laria. Laria reported on the Code Enforcement Committee work regarding signage at the Township Committee's December the 16th meeting. Currently, on-site contractors such as painters or roofers are allowed to display their sign on a customer's lawn while they are performing work on the premises and for a brief period afterwards. There is no allowance in the ordinance for commercial signs for contractors or vendors not at work on the premises. Mayor Vic DeLuca noted that this potential change was still in the discussion phase. He noted that he had a discussion about it and at the Chamber of Commerce board meeting. So that might be a good decision by the Township Committee to change that ordinance sign, because it will only give positive publicity to Maplewood by this "who do we use" blue signs that's been popping up all over Maplewood. First Night returns to South Orange Maplewood for New Year's Eve. Looking for something the whole family can do on New Year's Eve? Here's the answer. It's funny. In the United States of America, it's called New Year's Eve. In the Caribbean, we call it Old Year's. Okay, here's the answer. First Night Maplewood South Orange, a night of family-oriented alcohol-free activities, is returning after a 2-year hiatus. The event will be headlined by the Jersey Shore Rock and Roll Party Band, The Nerds, who will be joined by a variety of entertainers and artists. First Night will be held at Columbia High School at 525 Academy Street in Maplewood on December the 31st from 5 to 10 p.m. Tickets are available at the door for $20 or online at firstnightmwso.org. That's firstnightmwso.org. And you definitely want to support this First Night Maplewood South Orange. After being in hiatus for 2 years, it's coming back December the 31st from 5 to 10 p.m. and it's alcohol free. Interact holds audition for Almost Maine 1-5 and the 7th. Interact Theatre Productions is now scheduling auditions for Almost Maine on Monday, January the 5th and Wednesday, January the 7th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Auditions will be cold reading only. To schedule your auditions or more information, you got to visit the website. Performance date at 3 weekends in March at the Bear Theatre in South Orange, March 6th to the 8th, March 13th to the 15th, and March 20 to the 22nd, with show at 7:30 p.m. Friday and Saturday night and 4 p.m. on Sundays. So there you have it. If you are an actor, you go to Interact Theatre Production website and sign up for the auditions. I wish I could act. Really and truly. Some people tell me I do act. Yes. Enroll in Lydia Johnson Dance, plus support Mirrors in Motion. Lydia Johnson Dance, the esteemed and rapidly growing dance school in Maplewood, is currently registering for the Winter-Spring 2015 class. For class description and more information, visit the Lydia Johnson Dance website or email ljdschoolsnewjersey@gmail.com. That's ljdschoolsnewjersey@gmail.com. In addition, consider making a tax-deductible donation to Lydia Johnson Dance Mirrors for Motion Fund to enable the studio to purchase sorely needed new dance mirrors for its studios at the Bergdorf Center. Well, that's a good cause. If you like dancing, Lydia Johnson Dance. Sponsor a hungry child in South Orange Maplewood through Backpack Pals. Did you know there were food insecure children living right in our community? Here is a way to briefly help children in need in the South Orange Maplewood communities. Founded in 2011 and run by Chris Dixon and David Wagner, Ren Party Backpack Pals provide child-friendly, self-stable food to children in South Orange and Maplewood. Items are distributed in pre-packaged bags and placed in the children's backpack at the end of the schoolwork. Almost many of the children receive free breakfast and lunch in school during the week. The weekend can be a time of little to eat. Backpack Pals help to bridge this gap. Backpack Pals reaches 70 to 85 children per year. You can sponsor a child for just $25 for 1 month, $85 for half a year, and $175 for the entire school year. You can easily go to the Rent Party website at rentparty.com or send a check made out to Rent Party Pantry to 69 Quarter Avenue in Maplewood, New Jersey. Those interested in volunteering can contact David Wagner at bpp@rentpartylive.com. That's bpp@rentpartylive.com. And only recently I understood that this was a great initiative by Rent Party for these kids who may be going home over the weekend and may not have much to eat. And they fill the kids' backpack with food so they could have something to eat over the weekend. It's really, really, really a great thing. SOPAC, blues, rock, jazz, and more coming up in January. The South Orange Performing Arts Center has an exciting and eclectic lineup for January with performance by Madeline Peru, Dave Mason's Traffic Band, and the Psychedelic Furs, plus a stage reading by Midtown Direct Rep and a children musical. To purchase ticket, you can call the box office at 973-313-ARTS. That's 973-313-ARTS. Or visit the SOPAC website. And there's quite a bit coming up in January, ladies and gentlemen. As we get closer to those dates, we will give you those events. So let's go over to the South Orange Maplewood School District and see what's going on over there. On Monday, January the 12th, Rochelle Garner Coleman, Stories to Educate, Enlighten, Empower, and Entertain. Bring the whole family. The Parenting Center and Elementary School PTA presents MLK's Amazing Grace. It will be held at the Children's Theater at Clinton Elementary School on Monday, January the 12th at 7:30 p.m. Admission is free. That's Monday, January the 12th at 7:30 p.m. at the Children's Theater at Clinton Elementary School. So what is MLK Amazing Grace? MLK Amazing Grace is a powerful dramatic work written and directed by Rochelle Garner Coleman. 4 storytellers using minor props and costume changes become the famous and not so famous participants in the civil rights movement. Daddy King, Rosa Parks, Andy Young, and Cheyenne Webb, among others, come to life as they tell the stories of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Each story is taken from a real-life account with added research to give a background to this explosive time in United States history. So there you have it on Monday, January the 12th at 7:30 p.m. at Children's Theater at Clinton Elementary School, MLK's Amazing Grace. You definitely don't want to miss that. Let's go over to maplewoodian.com to see what's happening over there. Maplewood is stigma-free tongue. If you are wondering what the stigma-free signs around the tongues are for, this should give you the answer. At the request of State Senator Richard Cody, a longtime mental health supporter, the stigma-free program was launched in an effort to promote help to the mentally ill and in a way that lifts any stigma some might feel. So if you see the stigma-free sign around tongue, it's to help the mentally ill in a way that lifts any stigma that they might feel. Time check. The time is approximately 8:28 p.m. That time check is brought to you by All Star Motors, providing you with services you can trust. They provide you with certified mechanics, New Jersey State inspection facilities, used car sale, authorized police towing, and emission repair facilities. You can call them at 973-762-8771. That's 973-762-8771. 8771. Coming up next, NY